Stories of child abuse are becoming increasingly common in Nigeria. From physical harm to sexual abuse and online dangers, children face threats at every turn. At this interactive session convened by the Center for Children's Health, Education, Orientation and Protection, CHOPE, media professionals, non-governmental organizations, and community advocates are discussing practical ways to safeguard children, Nigeria's most vulnerable citizens.
If you discover in developed countries, especially laws about rape, especially child sexual abuse, are very, very strict, very, very strict, and the penalties are always very grave to serve as deterrence. You could violate a child, and then the next 50 years or for the rest of your life is paused, you're in jail. So when people think about that, they have a rethink and say, what am I going to gain? How many minutes pleasure? Then my life is paused. Is it worth it? So when they know that the law works and they're going to spend the rest of their lives in jail, and one or two persons are used as scapegoats, I think the rest will sit up.
It's very important for every handler of children to know that there's a policy in place across the schools, in the community, in the churches, in the mosque, everywhere we find children. They should know that their safety is number one priority for people around them, and the adults within that sphere, they know the right thing to do.
A key highlight of the session was the presence of Debbie Ariyo, a globally respected child protection expert and recipient of the Order of the British Empire OBE Award from the late Queen Elizabeth II. Her message to Nigeria is that prevention begins with safeguarding.
So there's a lot that needs to be done. We need to strengthen the law to protect children more. But more importantly, we need to implement the law. So currently, a lot of children are have really suffered in Nigeria simply because the law is not helping. Nobody is being prosecuted. There's no repercussion for harming children in Nigeria, and that is a sorry state.
The advocates agreed that child protection must go beyond reactive measures. From homes to schools, churches to mosques, every environment where children gather must be a sanctuary, not a place of harm. They also identified major gaps including ignorance, poor information, stigma, and institutional silence as barriers to progress. For many, it is a call to collective action. As participants here emphasize, protecting Nigeria's future begins with protecting its children today. Everyone, government, institutions, families, and individuals have a role to play in making sure every child grows up safe, respected, and free from harm. Nkoli Omodu, AIT News, Lagos.